purple. Where was everyone? I pondered to myself as I went down the halls. These halls were my home. I had grown close to the neat red bricks covering every single square inch of this indoor area. The torches on their scones played their song, singing for their sole audience, me. Which brings me back to my original question. Why was I the only one here? There was nothing in these silent corridors, save for the burning of the torches and my breathing. I called out to my friends and family every few seconds, but only my echo traveled back to my ears to respond. There was utter nothingness here. The corridors were endless. I had never traveled this far down, or this far through. I usually lingered around the upper levels, never delving into the crypts so far below. Where I was, the torches were few and far between now. There was a ringing in my ear. The ringing of silence. I found it useless to call out names now, seeing as how I never received a response. A sound. Yes, a sound. I heard it. It was a sound that wasn't produced by me. It sounded like snapping or a crunching noise. I hadn't broke any of the bricks around me, however. I looked down at myself and saw nothing visibly ailing to me. I hadn't really dipped into my adrenaline reserves either. All I was doing was pacing down the halls, my heart beating frantically in my chest. That shouldn't be enough to trigger adrenaline. That sound made me nervous. A snapping meant something was here. Something that could be my friends and family, or, conversely, it could be something worse. I wasn't very properly acquainted with how things work down here. But I had to keep going. I had gone too far to let some noise I probably imagined out of fear dictate my actions. There was no one here, and I was determined to find out why. I had exhausted my list of possible reasons why hordes of people weren't missing from these dull red hallways. Nothing made sense. It wasn't my birthday, nor were supplies down here getting low. If we needed to relocate, someone would have told me. There were no apparent signs of destruction. The walls were still all in one piece at least. There it was again. I heard clearly, another snapping noise. My heart raced inside my chest, and I could feel myself getting lightheaded. In a burst of fear, I turned and fled as quickly as I could, hoping to escape whoever was making that noise. I hurried by areas I had visited before, the balcony, the gardens, and tried to make my way to the entrance of these corridors. I had to get out of here. I had to. As I rounded the upteenth corner, I saw something flash in front of me. I couldn't make out what it was, but this provoked me into laying out a cringe. I could hear pacing down the hall from me, stopping and turning in different directions. I could hear it quickening in my direction, my own direction. I let out another cringe and turned the other way, trying desperately to escape whoever was making that noise, or whatever was in front of me. The footsteps were heavy and foreign, and didn't sound like any of my friends or family. They were getting closer. I would be trapped soon. I foolishly turned the incorrect way down the corridor and faced the dead end. I uttered another whimper and turned to see what had been stalking me for so long. My whole life flashed before my eyes. A man. A man had been following me. His skin was brown and soot hung from it. He had been down here quite a while. His eyes were full of hatred and malice, yet they had some sort of blankness to them. His hair was disheveled and sooty, hints of black and brown mingling with red and gray. His smile upon finally hunting me down widened exponentially. He was wearing a light blue shirt and some purple pants, stained by smudges of red and black. Sweat dripped from his whole body, tainting the ground he was standing on. He had caught me, and he knew it. He wiped his sweaty, meaty hands on his light blue shirt and produced a weapon, seemingly from hammer space. It was a sharpened blade, longer than my arm. It glinted horrendously at me. Getting ready to hack me apart, the man advanced. I knew that I couldn't escape, no matter what I did. I didn't have any choice at all but to take up arms. I tried my hardest to fight him off, but I failed in the end. His blade ripped into me over and over, marking my abdomen and face. I scored a few good hits on him as well, but he produced a strange pink flask from hammer space, sipped from it, and was good as new. I was defeated. After a lengthy section, he realized he had inflicted enough damage on me. I was fighting to stay conscious by then, my life force leaking out of me. I looked at him sadly, trying to beg him to help me. He offered me no solace, instead throwing a strange red glass onto the floor. The liquid inside of it splashed onto my face, burning and sizzling. He had beaten me. I turned to my side, the last of my life ebbing out of me. Darkness began to tug at my peripheral vision. I feebly looked up to my assailant, a look of sorrow on my face. The last thing I saw before the darkness overtook me was the color purple. Alright, sweet. I got another blaze rod. These will definitely come in handy.